Hey everyone, it's Shonagh Scott, and today I'm going to be doing a look for you inspired by futuristic fashionistas from in the movies. So to start with, I'm using the Bobbi Brown Longwear Foundation in Natural, and I'm using the MAC 132 Duo Fibre Brush to apply this. We're going to work this all over the face, including the ears and down the neck. For brows, I'm using this pencil by MAC, and it's in the shade Lingering. I'm going to fill in the brows, enhancing their natural shape, but I'm going to extend the tail of the eyebrow a little bit longer than where my natural brow finish is. I'm using a colour that matches my own hair colour, as we are going to be playing up the eyes, so we want our brows to look more natural. Next I'm taking MAC's CHROMALINE in Pure White, and I'm just using my ring finger to apply that over the eyelids. This is going to work as a base for our colours, and because it's pure white, the yellow and the green are really going to stand out more than they would if we was applying it straight to the skin. Once we've blended that out, we're also going to apply a small amount of that to the inner corners of our eyes. The warmth from our skin will help to melt the product in. Taking a MAC 239 flat shader brush, we're going to pick up some colour off of the MAC paint stick in Primary Yellow. So we're going to carefully apply that over the white base that we've just applied from the inner corner of the eye and going halfway across the mobile eyelid. We're also going to take a little bit of that up to meet the eyebrow, and because we've not put any white above this area, it's going to create a nice gradient as it's not going to be as pigmented. Now you don't need to be too neat about it at this point because we are going to be placing a pigment over this. We're taking the matching MAC pigment in Primary Yellow, and using the other side of the MAC 239 brush, we're just going to pat that onto the yellow that we've just applied. This is going to set the paint stick in place, but it's also going to add some opacity and intensity to that colour. And as you can see, the result of this is super vibrant. Using what's left on the bristles, feather the colour at the seams so it blends into nothing. We're taking another paint stick by MAC, and this one is Chartreuse. We're going to use the 239 brush just to apply this to the outer half of the mobile eyelid. We're going to also wing this out, so we're going to pull it out towards the temple. So we're aiming to create an elongated triangular shape. I'm using the tip of my brush at the outer corner, just dabbing it backwards and forwards to create this shape. We're taking the MAC pigment in True Chartreuse, and again using the 239 brush, we're going to pack that pigment over the paint stick we've just applied. Along the outer V shape, you want to tilt your brush and use the tip of it to push the colour along the wing. And on the middle of the mobile eyelid, you just want to feather the colour between the yellow so we get a nice gradient between the two. It's best to use a patting motion as opposed to a dragging motion, that way we'll get the most pigment payoff. Taking a MAC 217 blending brush, we're going to work that across the seams of the pigment that we've just applied to make sure we've got no harsh edges and that the seams all blend into nothing. Next I'm taking this CHROMALINE in the colour High Def Cyan. On another 239 brush, we're running that underneath the lower lashes all the way to the outer wing so it runs parallel to Chartreuse. And again, use the tip of your brush when you're lining the outer wing. Using what's left on the bristles, we want to feather the brush between the two colours on the outer V so that they amalgamate and become more blended as opposed to two defining colours. We're then taking High Def Cyan pigment, and we're going to press that over the top of the High Def Cyan CHROMALINE. And again, blend the seam on the wing so we've got that nice gradient between the two colours. Remember, the trick to feathering colours is to use a light hand. Next I'm taking the MAC 266 angle brush, and I'm going to dip that into some of the pure white CHROMALINE. I'm then using that angle brush to line the base of the eyebrows. I'm also adding that into the inner corners of the eyes just to reapply that nice white highlight. And again, using a light hand, I'm going to feather the white into the blue so we get a nice gradient at that tear duct area. Using my 210 liner brush and my black CHROMALINE, I'm lining the top lid and extending the wing. I'm then creating a duplicate line above the liner we've just created. There's a small gap all the way across, and it's just going to run parallel and then meet at the wing on the outer corner. I'm creating a crisp sharp point at the inner corner of the eyes and then also extending that along the waterline. I'm taking a black pigment by MAC, and using the tip of my 239 brush, I'm going to run that directly under the lower lashes. I'm then applying a black mascara by AVEDA to my top and bottom lashes. I'm using MAC's Cream Blush in Something Special and a MAC 130 Short Duo Fibre Brush. Using circular motions, I'm applying this colour in a halo shape. So starting on the cheekbones, we're applying the colour up in a C shape onto the temples. For lashes, I'm using these ones by MAC in number 35. You want to apply these directly onto the root of your natural lashes and give them a little wiggle so they stay in place. Next I'm using MAC's Pro Sculpting Cream in Coffee Walnut. I'm using the same brush as we just used, and I'm applying this colour directly to the hollows of our cheeks, and we're just going to sculpt out our cheekbones. We're going to use circular motions to blend this into the cream blush we've just applied. I'm dipping the same brush into MAC's Soft and Gentle, and I'm applying that to the cheekbones and a small amount above the brow bone to get a nice glow to our face. Taking my 217 brush and a small amount of the High Def CYAN pigment, I'm blending that in the temple area, and because we're applying this on top of the cream blush, it will blend out so easily. Lastly, I'm dipping my finger into some more of the Soft and Gentle highlight, and I'm applying that to the Cupid's bow and a little bit onto the Filtrum and a small amount on my bottom lip. So I hope you all enjoyed my futuristic fashionista transformation. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And don't forget to subscribe to the I Love Makeup channel for more creative and fun makeup looks.